Hello, my name is James Arnott. I'm from Rewilding Africa. I'm a director of the Community Interest Company based in the United Kingdom. We believe the current conservation model in Africa is not sustainable, partly because it's predominantly based and driven by NGOs who focus on what we term fortress conservation. Acting as Thrive buffer zones, the community conservancies will ultimately put millions of hectares of additional landscape under conservation management. And if done at scale, using proper planning processes, proper development processes, proper management processes in place, this is a solution at a scale sufficient enough for Africa to almost proclaim a conservation economy. Let's identify Kafue National Park, a beautiful reserve in Zambia. That is an operating going concern which has been going since the colonial era 50, 60, 70 years ago. If we now call it the Kafue Community Conservancy, in other words, we identify all the land around the Kafue National Park and we land use plan. We specifically go out and identify productivity nodes or concessions within the land around the park, and we plan for it and we service those nodes. We make them investable. In fact, we would like to see it as almost an 80-20 principle. 80% of the land within the Community Conservancy around the Kafue National Park would remain pristine and be rewilded, but 20% will become very productive. And that's the master land use planning that we promulgate as needing to be investable. We need to find the funding in order to do the master land use planning for these community conservancies and then service them, invest in the roads and the power and the water that's required to create the industries and the business development and the jobs that's required at scale for these communities. So as a result of that, we've identified 3 beneficiaries in 3 countries in Africa, one being Kenya, where the concept of conservancies was born around 15 years ago. And we are working with the Kenya Wildlife Conservancy Association in Kenya to build out this multiple land use, multiple revenue stream model. We've got a beneficiary in Zambia called the Elephant Charge, where we've also identified a landscape there called the Funzwe Community Conservancy. And we've also got a project in South Africa, which is our flagship, which we've been working on for the last 5 years, called Laziba. And Laziba is a community conservancy as well as a game reserve, which is positioned in the middle of the community conservancy. If we carry on doing what we're currently doing, we are going to lose the battle. If the conservation world embraces a more commercial economic approach without destroying the ecological balance, then I believe we have a far greater chance of winning the battle. And that's applying property development principles first and foremost to significant landscapes around the national parks. And that's our community conservancy model. We believe the next steps is to find the suitable partners to build out the investment business case for a pilot proof of concept, a 3-country shared learning approach embraced between Kenya, Zambia and South Africa. We've identified the suitable beneficiary partners. We've identified the landscapes. We now need partners, investment partners, who are prepared to come with us on this journey in order to build out the proof of concept, the investable proof of concept for community conservancies to be established in these 3 countries.